Good afternoon, children. Today, my topic is nervous system. So, I am going to teach about the nervous system in detail. First, what is the nervous system? It is useful for what? Coordination. So, in between the organs of our body, coordination is required. So, then only the body will perform functions. If coordination is not there, body cannot perform the functions. Like a cricket team, in between the players coordination is there, the players will win team will win the game. If coordination not there, the team lose the game. Same like that. So for this coordination between the organs of body and to perform the function of the body, coordination required. So two systems are there for coordination. Number one, nervous system. Number two, endocrine system. These two systems are very important systems for coordination. Endocrine means completely related to the hormones. This one we will discuss later, but only nervous system we are going to discuss today. So come to first nervous system. So nervous system consists of different parts. First come to the starting onwards. Porifera phylum don't have no nervous system. This is a very important bit. Porifera don't have nervous system, but remaining all multicellular organisms having what is called nervous system. All multicellular having nervous system except poriferans. This is a point you have to remember. So this all nervous system made with nervous tissue. Nervous tissue composed by, very important. There are neurons are nerve cells. So we are going to discuss about the neuron. So neuron or nerve cell is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. The structural and functional unit of the nervous system. This is a point you should have to remember. Next, come to the next some more points. So the nervous system consists of neurons, very important. Next, glial cells. What is called glial cells also there, and neurosecretory cells also there. Neurons, so nerve cells, glial cells, neurosecretory cells also present. So now we are going to discuss about the structure of neuron. In the structure of neuron, what things are there? This is the most important. The structure of neuron consists of three parts. What are those? Dendrites, number one. Dendrites, number two. Axon, number three. Cell body. So what neurons will do? Maintain or transport the electric impulses, are also called. Mainly, what is the function of neurons? Nerve impulses. They carries the nerve impulses, and the electric are also called electric signals. These points you should have to cover. So nerve impulses. So first one we are going to discuss about, we have come from down onwards, cell body of the neuron. Cell body are also called, another name of cell body is there, cytosol, and It's a cell body or cyton containing nucleus. Very important point. Cell body or cyton contains nucleus and surrounding the cytoplasm. All important points. And there are granules. Some granules are present in the cytoplasm. Those are called Nissl granules. What is called? Nissl granules. Next, Nissl granules are there, and mitochondria, Golgi complex. You know these all cell organelles: mitochondria, Golgi complex, and neurofibrils, neurotubule, neurotubule. Okay, like this, different parts are there in the which one cell body, or the structures are there. So there are the cell organelles. Remaining also like that only. These are present in the cell body. Okay, so it also receives the next point. So once again we will discuss coordination for organs in between the organs of body. Coordination required to perform the body functions. There are, for coordination point of view, there are two systems. One is nervous system, another one is endocrine system. The nervous system, in come to the four invertebrates, all multicellular organisms have the nervous system, but poriferans, sponges. Poriferans means here what you have to remember, sponges, no nervous system. So the nervous system contains neurons, very important. Nervous system made with nervous tissue. The nervous tissue contains the neurons or nerve cells. The neuron is the structural and functional unit of the nervous system. This nervous system contains not only neurons, glial cells, neurosecretory cells are present. So first we have to come from neurons. What are the neurons? Neurons is a structural and functional unit of nervous system. And the structure of neuron, if you see, there are three important parts are there. One is cell body, axon, and dendrites. So mainly the neurons transports the nerve impulses through in the electric signal form. So if you see the parts of the neurons, first one is, I said, cell body. It also called, cell body is also called cytosol, and it contains, the cell body contains nucleus, cytoplasm. In the cytoplasm some granules are there. I will show the diagram later, but you should remember these points. The granules are called Nissl granules, and also in the cytoplasm mitochondria, Golgi complex, neurofibrils, neurotubules are present. Okay, the next part of the neuron is dendrites. Next one. The next concept is, one more point about the cell body, receives the nerve impulses. The cell body, one more point, cell body receives the nerve impulses from the, receives the nerve impulses from dendrites, and transmits to axon. This point you should have to remember. Next, the next structure is dendrites. Cell body, after we are going to discuss about dendrites. Dendrites are several means more numeral, several short, very important, short tapering, much branched, okay, protoplasmic, protoplasmic. Okay, protoplasmic processes stretching out from the cell body of neuron. Stretching out from the cell body of neuron. These points you should have to remember. Okay, they receives the stimulus. What these are? They receives stimulus, number one, and what they will do, they receives the stimulus, which may be what kind of stimulus? Physical and chemical. Okay, mechanical or electrical. What kind of stimulus? They receives mechanical and electrical stimulus they will receive. Okay, so the stimulus is they will transfer to the, you know very well, cyton. So cyton, this is the very important. Cyton means nothing but, or also what we are calling cyton means nothing but cell body. So next concept is axon. This is the most important point to discuss. Axon is the longest part of the neuron. Longest part of the neuron. Okay, it is a single elongated, what I'm telling, single elongated, okay, fiber arising from, single elongated fiber arising from, you know very well, arising from which part? So one side of cyton, it will become. Next, so it conducts, very important, it conducts impulse, away from the cell body, okay, this is a point you should have to remember. So the axon endings also there are highly branched. These are highly branched, okay, and the terminal branches are called, what we call the terminal branches of axon endings called terminal, very important word, terminal arborizations. Okay, these points you should have to remember, arborizations. So what axon terminal are, these all are often knob like. These all looks like which one? Knob like, okay, nerve fiber, neuromuscular knob like structures, they will form the knob like, and these may end in nerve fibers. These may end in, okay, these may end in nerve fibers, okay. Most important, the very important, that is neuromuscular junction, or glands or synapse, okay, synapse with dendrites of other neuron, okay, these points you should have to remember. Okay, so once we are discussing cell body is there, the cell body receives the nerve impulse from dendrites and transmit to the axon. The dendrites, first dendrite, cell body after next part what? Dendrites. These are several short tapering, much branched protoplasmic processes. So these are protoplasm. Suppose this is a what you call cell body. So this cell body too, you know very well. These all are dendrites. So these are dendrites. Okay, this is a nucleus. These are dendrites. So these are dendrites. What is saying? Much branched. So many branches are there, and they have what you call protoplasmic processes stretching out from where? They are coming out from where? Cell body of neuron. They receives what they will do? They receives the impulse, stimulus. They receives the stimulus. What kind of stimulus? The stimulus may be physical, the stimulus may be chemical, the stimulus may be mechanical, the stimulus may be electrical. So receives the stimulus, okay, and take to the cell body, or also what you call this particular part, what you are saying, cyton. Then cyton 2, it will go to axon, that one later. Okay, so next part is axon. Axon is the longest part of the neuron and single, not like dendrites. It's a very single elongated fiber arising from one side only, not all sides of the cyton, only one side of cyton. It conducts impulse away from the cell body. It takes the impulse from cell body to and out. So the axon endings are highly branched. If you see the endings, highly branched endings are there, and the terminal branches are called, these terminal branches are called, what are called? Terminal arborizations. They look like knob-like structures. These may be end in neuromuscular junctions and synapse, you know, gap between the functional gap between the neurons and other neurons, or the synapse with the dendrites of other neurons. So this is another neuron, suppose. So like this, another neuron is there, it will be ended like this in between that. Okay, so another neuron dendrites, and this in the axon terminals, they will be end like this. Okay, so these points we should have to remember. Next one, the axon is, next concept is, axon is covered with one sheath. I think you know that sheath. What is that? Axon is covered with one sheath. That sheath name is what you call myelin sheath. Okay, these points you should have to remember. Okay, the axon is covered one or two sheaths. Axon is covered with one or two sheaths. One or two sheaths. Okay, one or two sheaths. Number one, that one or two sheaths, sheathed axon is termed. Sheathed means which have the sheathed axon will be termed as, axon is termed nerve fiber. Is termed what do you call? Nerve fiber. Very important. So the membrane of the axon is called, another important word, membrane of axon is called axolemma. What is called? Axolemma. Okay, the single sheath present over the axon is made with, the single sheath present on axon is made with one kind of cells made with, you know very well, Schwann cells. Very important bit. Schwann cells, and is called, single sheath is means that is called neurilemma. Neurilemma. Okay, the axon has an also an insulating protective sheath, and also axon having another one insulating protective sheath, that is called myelin. Very important, that is called myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. If myelin sheath is present, they are called myelinated nerve fibers. Okay, myelin sheath is present in the sense myelinated nerve fibers. If the myelin sheath is absent, they will be called non-myelinated nerve fibers. Myelinated nerve fibers, non-myelinated nerve fibers. So this myelinated nerve fibers, this one, they will transport the impulse or conduct the impulse more effectively than non-myelinated nerve fibers. So myelinated areas are also called, so some myelinated nerve fibers, unmyelinated areas, myelinated nerve fibers possess myelinated nerve fibers possess unmyelinated what we called unmyelinated areas are called nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of, I will show the diagram, these all the things, nodes are Ranvier. So neurotransmitter message from they will transmit the messages. So first they have following, these are characters, especially they do not, what are the nerve fibers or neurons? They do not divide, number one. Number two, shortly after birth, new neurons do not develop. This is another point. Next one, they are not repaired. They are not repaired. Okay, when injured. If injury happens, they can't repair it. Next one, they use only glucose as a, which point they will respiratory substrate. They will use only glucose for energy, respiratory substrate. Next, they die if deprived of oxygen. If oxygen is less, what will happen? They will be die over within 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes they will be die. These are the characters, special characters of which one? Neurons. Okay, come to the first onwards. What is the axon? 3 parts we discussed. What are the 3 parts? Number 1 is cell body. Number 2, dendrite. Number 3, axon. Axon is covered with 1 or 2 sheaths. The sheathed axon termed as nerve fiber. What is called? Nerve fiber. Sheaths are there. And the membrane of axon is called, the membrane which is present on the axon is called axolemma. The single sheath is made with Schwann cells. One single sheath is there, that is called neurilemma. These two, remember, axolemma, neurilemma. Membrane of axon, axolemma. And single sheath also there, and that made with Schwann cells is called neurilemma. And insulating protective sheath also there, that is called myelin sheath. Like this, the myelin sheath is forming from, you know very well, Schwann cells. This is the most important bit. There are 2 important nerve fibers based upon myelin sheath. If myelin sheath is there, they are called myelinated nerve fibers. If myelin sheath is absent, they will be called non-myelinated nerve fibers. So they conduct the impulse more effectively. Which one? Myelinated nerve fibers conduct the impulse more effectively than the non-myelinated, what we call, nerve fibers. Myelinated nerve fibers possess unmyelinated areas. I will show the diagram. So that is those in the myelinated nerve fibers, unmyelinated areas are there. They will be called nodes of Ranvier. They do not divide. What are the characters of neurons? the characters of, that is different, this is a different. Now characters, the characters if you see, so they do not divide, they're shortly after birth they will be very become short. New neurons do not develop, this is important. That's why polio, polio like diseases are permanent. Why polio like diseases are permanent? Which neurons will be affected? Motor neurons, types of neurons are there. So polio like diseases are permanent due to effect in motor neurons. So once they injured or infected by virus, that's it, they will not, the new neurons do not, the new neurons do not develop and are not repaired. Any injury happened also, there is no repaired in the neurons. And the major important structure is glucose. This glucose is the main important energy giving substances or respiratory substrate to the neurons. If oxygen is less, if suppose oxygen is less in the body, they will die within 5 minutes. Which one? Neurons will die within 5 minutes. So these points you should have to remember. So next we are going to discuss about one more important concept, that is called synapse. What you call synapse. So before going to that, roughly I will show the picture of the axon. Then axon is parts we will be cover right now. So very simple. What is axon? What is axon? The parts you see now. So first you see, this is the cell body. So this cell body contains, very well, what is this? All, okay. So like this, different what you called forms are there. They will be, very well, they will be called, what do you call these? All will be called dendrites. First point I am writing, what do you called? They will be called dendrites. And they have middle what do you call that middle one? That is called what do you call this middle one? Is called nucleus. And they are surrounded by very important, what I said to you, these all will be called what you called missile granules. This word you should have to remember. And it is called, very well, what you call it is axon. The next this one is surrounded with, what I said, very important, the myelin sheath. That particular sheath is called myelin sheath. Okay, the myelin sheath. And above that one, what is there? In a neurilemma, I said, or not? Neurilemma. Okay, so this is next one. Here they will be divided into so many branches. I said so many branches, and they will be enter into effector organ. So this particular area is, very well, motor. This particular area, motor and plate. Okay, so here also this is what you called myelin medullary sheath. Medullary sheath or myelin sheath. Which one? This one. And outer one is called, very well, what do you call outer one? Neurilemma. This particular area, this is called node of, what do you call, Ranvier, node of Ranvier. And here also we have what you call a special nucleus also will be present in this particular area. So this is the most important. If you see this particular area, we take off and you see outside, so it will be looks like like this particular area. So like this, the parts will be there. So these parts will be like this. Okay, so what I said, these are called, what are these called? These all are like this will be there. And the parts, if you see this particular area only, what we called, I said node of Ranvier. We call node of Ranvier, and this is called neurilemma. This is called neurilemma, and this is called endoneurium. These are the sheets, neurium, and this particular here, and particular cells are there. They will be called, you know very well, Schwann cells, and here which contains what you call cytoplasm. That cytoplasm is called Schwann cytoplasm. We call Schwann cytoplasm. So this is the what you call structure of neuron. We call the structure of neuron. What we discussed in this, once you check it, dendrites, there will be Nissl granules, some granules, these are the long process. These are the Nissl granules. This is the nucleus. This is the axon. Axon only one end. Here so many branches. And this axon is covered with, very well, one neurilemma. Outside is neurilemma, and inside this one, this is called myelinated sheath or medullary sheath. Which contains unmyelinated. This is a myelin, but unmyelinated areas, what we call, I said, node of Ranvier. And here these myelinated sheets also have Schwann cells. They have nucleus, and these are the nerve endings. Okay, these are the nerve endings. Like this bulb-like structures are there. They will be nerve endings. They will end with the effector organ or motor end plate. So if this particular part take off, and if you see, this is called node of Ranvier. This is called neurilemma. This is the endoneurium. And these are Schwann cells. This is the myelinated sheath, and the liquid present here is Schwann cytoplasm. This is the structure of neuron. So next concept we will discuss tomorrow. Thank you very much, students. Thank you a lot. Tomorrow next concept we will be discuss.